Alright, y'all, welcome back to another description of ready to run sets from Lionel catalogs. Today we're going to be looking at all the ready to run sets from Lionel 2015 Holiday Memories catalog. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so first up we have the Frosty the Snowman Line Chief Remote Christmas set, which features locomotive number 321 and a number of 6-8 1284. So the set itself features an 080 locomotive and coal tender, Professor Hinkle hopper, wood-sided refrigerator car, and an offset cupola caboose. It comes with 8 curved R36 fast track sections, 3 10-inch straight fast track sections, and 1 fast track wall pack terminal section, and a wall pack power supply along with the launcher remote. The locomotive itself, it features electric locomotive controlled by remote, operating headlight, puff and smoke, on and off switch for sound and smoke, Rail Sounds RC sound system with diesel revving or steam chuffing background sounds, whistle bell and user activated announcements, chuffing sounds in sync with the speed of the locomotive, an operating coupler of the rear of the tender, and a power for maintenance remoter, cab window glass, and 2 traction tires, die-cast metal locomotive body and frame on the tender, die-cast metal, or actually separately applied marker lamps, driver leakage brake stands, and coupler air lines and buffers. So the freight cars are, the cars feature trucks and operating couplers. I think it has a removable co-load in the hopper, and the caboose is interior illuminated, so that means it can light up. So altogether, the Line Chief remote features forward and reverse speed control knob, 3 buttons for the whistle sound and bell, special passenger announcements, and requires 3 alkaline batteries that are not included. So the gauge is O gauge, skill chart traditional, brand Lionel, power electric, engine type is steam, the minimum curve is 027, the dimensions of the set length is 43 inches, and the layout dimensions is 40 inches times 60 inches, and the most recent catalog that it's been featured in is the Lionel 2016 Ready to Run catalog. And next up, they have the Thomas and Friends Christmas set with Line Chief Remote and Rail Sounds RC with the number of 6-30 162. So it's just ideal for families just starting this hobby or setting up for a temporary layout on the floor. This thing is easy to set up with the train set, track, and wall pack power supply included, ready to run out of the box. Easy to use power and control system, basic wall pack power supply, terminal track section with the jack for connecting to the wall pack, and child-friendly handheld remote control that is color coordinated with the locomotive it controls, and it can run more than 1 locomotive on the same track. The remotes are color coordinated with the locomotives for convenience. Locomotives listen for commands from their color coordinated remotes. The locomotive speed directions and sounds are determined by distinct commands sent directly to the engine. So the set itself includes Thomas with 3 interchangeable faces and Annie and Clarabelle, along with 1 straight fast track section, 8 curved fast track sections, a fast track terminal section, and a remote control. It's this one right here, a wall pack power supply. So for the features, the electric locomotive is controlled by a launcher remote. The remote controller with forward and reverse speed control knob, whistle, sound, bell, and sound all aboard. Announcements requires 3 AAA alkaline batteries not included. Rail Sounds RC sound system with steam chuffing and background sounds. Whistle, bell, and user activated announcements. Moving eyes on Thomas the Tank Engine. Power for maintenance remoter. On and off sound switch. Traction tires set at 3 removable faces. Removable roofs on Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle. Operating coupler of the rear of the locomotive. Dual operating couplers on Annie and Clarabelle. Product specifications: the gauge is O gauge. Scale chart traditional. The brand is Lionel. The power is electric. Engine type is steam. Minimum curve is 027. And the product length is 21 inches. The dimensions of the set length is 21 inches, and the layout is 40 inches times 50 inches. And the most recent catalog that it's been featured in is the Lionel 2015 Christmas catalog. Alright, here is the Thomas Kincaid Christmas Line Chief remote set. It's 080, and it has a number of 6-81395. So the Thomas Kincaid set is sure to bring a new light to your train or Christmas display. The iconic lines and quality graphics and design of this classic toy train combine perfectly with the Thomas Kincaid's amazing style to capture the warmth and spirit of American Christmas. So the set includes the locomotive and coal tender, a holiday gathering baggage car, home for the holidays combination car, and the night before Christmas observation car, along with 8 curve 036 fast track sections, 3 10-inch straight fast track sections, and 1 fast track wall pack terminal section, wall pack power supply, line chief remote control roller. So the locomotive itself, it features electric locomotive controlled by remote operating headlight, puff and smoke, on and off switches for smoke and sound, rail sounds RC sound system with steam chuffing and background sounds, and user activated whistle and bell announcements, chuffing sounds in sync with puff and smoke, diecast operating coupler of the front of the locomotive, operating coupler of the rear of the tender, power from industry motor, traction tires, diecast metal locomotive body and frame, upgraded drive rod assembly, silver metal rims on the drive wheels, engineer and fireman figures. So for the passenger cars, they feature die-cast metal 6-wheel trucks, operating couplers, silhouette figures in the windows, lighting interiors, authentic Thomas Kincaid art on passenger car sides, and signature Thomas Kincaid lantern on the observation drumhead at the end of the car. So the line shift remote features forward and reverse speed control knob, 3 buttons to activate the whistle bell and special announcements, and it requires 3 AAA alkaline batteries that are not included. So for the product specifications, the gauge is O gauge, skill type traditional, the brand is Lionel, the power is electric, engine type is steam, the minimum curve is 31, the dimensions of the descent length is 43 inches, and the layout dimensions is 40 inches times 60 inches, and the most recent catalog that it's been featured in is the Lionel 2015 Christmas catalog. And next up is, of course, the Polar Express O gauge set with line shift remote and rail sounds RC with the SKU number of 6-30-218. So, for the first time ever, an O-gauge Polar Express train set is available with remote control operation. Fitted with the new line chief remote control system by Lionel, engineers young and old had the complete control over their Polar Express trains by an easy-to-use remote. You'll feel a difference in smoother operation of the Berkshire locomotive, and you'll hear more realism in the locomotives and sounds. So, the set itself is the train set, track, and wall pack power supply included are easy to set up, and it's ready to run right out of the box. It's easy to use power and control system, basic wall pack power supply, terminal track section with the jack for connecting to the wall pack, kid-friendly handheld remote. It can run more than one locomotive on the same track. It has distinct frequencies available for the line chief locomotive, allow for remote engines to run at the same time. And line chief locomotives can also run on any track powered by conventional transformer at a constant 18 volts. Line chief locomotives can operate at the same time as any legacy or TMCC controlled engine at the same 18 volts power layout and track. So the set itself includes the locomotive and tender, the marionette car, passenger car, and the observation car, along with 8 curve 136 fast track sections, 3 straight fast track sections, and a fast track wall pack terminal section, remote control for a locomotive, which is this one right here, and a wall pack power supply, and a Polar Express decorative bell. So the locomotive, it features electric locomotive control by remote, movie sound clip, on and off switches for smoke and sound, rail sounds RC sound system with steam chuffing, and engine background sounds, whistle bell, and user activated announcements, operating headlight, operating coupler of the rear of the tender, and puff and smoke unit, power from industry motor, true traction tires, diecast metal locomotive and body, and large pilot and headlight and lens shielded. So for the passenger cars, they feature interior lighting, decorated drumhead on the observation car, and a rounded observation platform, and along with the silhouettes in the window. So the remote features for forward and reverse speed control knob, 3 buttons to activate the whistle sound, bell sound, and official announcements from the movie. It requires 3 AAA alkaline batteries that are not included. And there's also a manual for the Polar Express set. So the gauge for this set is O gauge. The skill type is traditional. The brand is Lionel, power electric, engine type steam, minimum curve is 031. The dimensions of the descent length is 63 3/8 inches. The layout is 40 inches times 60 inches. And the most recent catalog that it's been featured in is the Lionel 2016 Ready to Run catalog. Next up, they have the Silver Bells Line Chief Remote Control System set. So this thing is also easy to set up. Train set, track, and wall pack power supply included. Ready to run right out of the box. So it's basically easy to use power and control system. It has a basic wall pack power supply terminal jack section with a jack for connecting to the wall pack. Kid-friendly handheld remote. It runs more than one locomotive on the same track. Distant frequencies available for different line chief locomotives allow for multiple remote engines to run at the same time. Line chief locomotives can also run on any track powered by a conventional transformer at a constant 18 volts. Line chief locomotives can operate at the same time as any legacy or TMCC controlled engine at the same 18 volt powered layout and track. So, the set includes a 2842 locomotive and tender, a gondola with bells, a double door boxcar, and a caboose. It also includes 8 curve 36 fast track sections, 1 10 straight fast track section, 1 fast track terminal section, a wall pack power supply, and a line chief remote controller. So, the locomotive features electric locomotive control by remote, on and off switches for smoke and sound, rail sounds RC sound system with steam chuffing and background sounds, whistle bell, and holiday themed music, chuffing sounds in sync with puff and smoke, operating headlight, puff and smoke unit, operating coupler of the rear tender, power for maintenance for motor, traction tire, diecast metal locomotive body. Rolling stock features operating couplers, 2 removable silver bells and gondola. Remote features forward and reverse speed control knob, 3 buttons for whistle, bell, and holiday themed music. Requires 3 AAA alkaline batteries that are not included. Product specifications: the gauge is O gauge, scale type traditional, and the brand is Lionel. Product length is 45 inches. Dimensions of the set length is 45 inches, and the layout dimensions is 40 inches times 50 inches. And the most recent catalog that it's been featured in is the Lionel 2015 Christmas catalog. And here is the Peanuts Christmas Ready to Run set with the conventional 080 steam locomotive with the SKU number of 6-30-193. So the set itself includes an 080 steam locomotive and tender, gondola, boxcar, caboose, 3 straight fast track sections, 1 fast track terminal section, 8 curved fast track sections, CW80 transformer, smoke fluid. So the locomotive features transformer controlled forward, neutral, and reverse operation, air whistle and tender, operating headlight, puff and smoke unit, operating coupler in the front of the locomotive and rear of the tender, power for maintenance for motor, traction tires, diecast metal locomotive body and frame, and engineer and fireman figures. The rolling stock features operating couplers, trees loaded on the gondola, boxcar with opening doors, interior illumination, and caboose, a CW80 operation instructional video, lubrication and maintenance of RTR locomotive ready to run set basics, ready to run set troubleshooting tips, product specifications. O gauge is the gauge, scale type traditional, brand Lionel, power electric, engine type of steam, minimum curve is 031, dimension set is approximately 47 inches, and the light is 40 inches times 60 inches, and the most recent catalog is the 2015 Lionel Christmas catalog. Alright, moving on to the G gauge ready to run sets. So here is the Polar Express G gauge set, number 1225, with an SKU number of 7-11-022. So the set itself features steam locomotive and coal tender, the steam locomotive and coal tender, a passenger car, and an observation car with 2 opening doors. And the observation car features the disappearing hobo feature and opening doors. It has 3 Polar Express figures, the conductor Boeing hobo, 12 curved and 4 straight, easy to assemble G-gauge plastic track pieces, easy to unpack and easy to repack storage, RC remote controller. Yeah. So it has a highly detailed, sturdily constructed Berkshire style locomotive. Authentic train sounds including bell, whistle, and working headlight. Requires 60 cell batteries that are not included. And of course the passenger cars. They have a handsomely detailed passenger coach along with the disappearing hobo feature of the observation car. And it has fixed knuckle couplers. And it's designed for easy to use, clearly marked buttons for allow train to go forward and reverse, sound the whistle, ring the bell, and play all aboard. This is the Polar Express. And it requires 2 AA batteries that are not included. And yeah, there's also a manual and some more manuals. So for the product specifications, the gauge is G gauge, scale type traditional, the brand is Lionel, the power is battery powered, engine type is steam, the dimensions of the set length is 55 inches and 72 inches of the track. And the most recent catalog that it's been featured in is the Lionel 2016 Ready to Run catalog. And here is the Frosty the Snowman G-Gauge set with the SKU number of 7-11-498. So the set includes a G-gauge steam locomotive and tender, boxcar, center cupola caboose, 12 curve and 4 straight G-gauge black plastic track pieces, and RC remote control. The locomotive features highly detailed and sturdily constructed general style locomotive, authentic train sounds, including bell and the whistle, working headlight, and requires 60 cell batteries or a 9.6V rechargeable battery pack that is not included. The freight cars feature fixed knuckle couplers and an opening door on boxcar. The track features 12 curve and 4 straights. RC remote control features designed for easy use, clearly marked buttons for allow train to go forward and reverse and sound the whistle and ring the bell. And it requires 2 AA batteries that are not included. For the product specifications, the gauge is G-gauge, the scale type is traditional, the brand is Lionel, power is battery powered, engine type is steam, dimensions of the set length is 55 inches times 72 inches over a G-gauge track, and the most recent catalog that has been featured in is the Lionel 2015 Christmas catalog. And here is the Coca-Cola Holiday G-gauge set, which has an SKU number of 711488. So the set includes a G-gauge general style locomotive and tender, boxcar, center cupola caboose, 12 curve and 4 straight G-gauge black plastic track pieces, and the RC remote control. The locomotive features highly detailed, sturdily constructed 440 general style locomotive, authentic train sounds including bell and the whistle, working headlight, requires 60 cell batteries or 9.6V rechargeable battery pack that is not included. Freight cars feature fixed knuckle couplers, opening door on boxcar, track 12 curve and 4 straight. Note, extra G-gauge track and accessories are available. RC remote control features designed for easy use, clearly marked buttons for allow train to go forward and reverse, sound the whistle and ring the bell, requires 2 AA batteries that are not included. Product specifications, rail line is Coca-Cola, the gauge is G-gauge, scale chart traditional, brand Lionel, power is battery powered, engine type is steam, dimensions is 55 inches times 72 inches over a G-gauge track. The most recent catalog that has been featured is the Lionel 2015 Christmas catalog. And the last set on the catalog is the Lionel G-gauge Crayola G-gauge set. So the set includes a G-gauge general style locomotive and tender, boxcar, center cupola caboose, 12 curve and 4 straight G-gauge black plastic track pieces, RC remote controller. Locomotive features highly detailed, sturdily constructed 440 general style locomotive, authentic train sounds including the bell and the whistle, working headlight, requires 60 cell batteries or a 9.6V rechargeable battery, not included. And the freight cars feature fixed knuckle couplers, opening door on boxcar. The track features 12 curve and 4 straights. RC remote control features designed for easy use, clearly marked buttons for allow train to go forward and reverse. Sound the whistle and ring the bell, requires 2 AA batteries that are not included. The product specifications, the gauge is G-gauge, scale type traditional, brand Lionel, power is battery powered, engine type is steam, dimensions is 55 inches times 72 inches over a G-gauge track, and the most recent catalog that has been featured in is the Lionel 2015 Ready to Run catalog. And that will be all, y'all. So hope y'all enjoy this video and find this video informative. And as always, be sure to like, comment, hit the bell for notifications of new videos, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. Remember, y'all, the current goal for this channel is to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year or January or February of next year. Thank y'all again for watching, and I will see y'all for tomorrow's video.